to Weekly Digest, where we highlight the works of ministers of government as they push the administration's development agenda. Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony received several equipment from the Pan American Health Organization, World Health Organization, PAHO WHO, through the Canada Global Affairs Project to further advance maternal, adolescent, and neonatal health and the immunization program.
In terms of improving maternal health in the country, we want to ensure that we have the right equipment out in the community so that we can make better diagnosis and be able to ensure that if we discover a problematic pregnancy, that we can take the necessary precautions so that that mother would be safe. And over the last couple of years, PAHO has been helping us to ensure that we can get these solar refrigerators. And they have worked very well in these communities.
Government continues to make the necessary investments to train various categories of health workers countrywide to improve the quality of services. To this end, Dr. Anthony said 12 Guyanese will soon be trained as ultrasound technologists this year to effectively operate the equipment and interpret the results. Currently, Guyana does not have ultrasound technologists.
So we're working with Mohawk College in Canada to offer a hybrid program. We're hoping to start that later this year.
President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali recently met with farmers of Enmore and listened to their concerns and committed to provide a solution. Staying true to that promise, Minister of Agriculture Zulfikar Mustafa and Minister within the Ministry of Public Works Deodat Indar visited the community, assuring residents that government will be relocating them to other lands.
But Enmore here, what we'll be doing, we'll work with the farmers to establish shade houses. And we'll work with them to ensure that we give them all the planting material and they start in production once again.
In addition to all of the intervention that Minister Zulfi spoke of, that the farmers complained about because they've been using the backlands to plant and to rear their animals and so on. The intervention from the Ministry of Agriculture, there's also an intervention from the Ministry of Housing and Water, and there were some issues with some road and some approaches and so, the Ministry of Public Works. So, as the President has promised, that the three ministers, myself, Minister Zulfi and Minister Kroll will be here. We are here today to deal with the issues.
Farmers lauded the government's interventions to provide timely solutions. Guyana has made remarkable strides in the agricultural development, where pest control has played a crucial role in ensuring the success and sustainability of farming communities. Effective pest control measures are not just a necessity, but they are vital to the country's agricultural progress. This sentiment was expressed by Minister of Agriculture Zulfikar Mustafa during his remarks at Ridopest Inc. 40th anniversary and launch of Orkin on Thursday at the Marriott Hotel Kingston.
By investing in pest control, we safeguard our agricultural investment, stimulate economic growth, and enhance our nation's resilience in the face of global challenges.
Minister of Home Affairs Robeson Ben attended the launch of the 7th United Nations Global Road Safety Week, where he challenged persons to speak out against errant drivers.
One of the issues we have to take note of is the question of fear in the society. That if we jump in a minibus, we are fearful to say you're going too fast, or if your dad or mom is driving too fast or doing something that maybe we're fearful of saying, you did something wrong, it wasn't safe enough or so on, we need to speak out some more.
To promote and enhance safety on the roadways, the Road Safety Diagnostic and Action Plan was on Friday launched at the Marriott Hotel. The initiative forms part of the Adequate Housing and Urban Transport Program, AHUTP, which is being funded by the Inter-American Development Bank, IDB. Minister Ben said that emphasis must be placed on persons having consideration for each other on the roadways.
The effort here with this, the road safety, the diagnostic, and then the action plan will roll out going forward what things have to be put in place to bring stability, but there are immediate measures which we have to put in place. And as I said, we have to look each other in the eye and see how we expect this to work out, how we expect this to improve.
He added that administrators need to develop a sterner hand in addressing the issue of road safety. Meanwhile, Minister of Public Works Bishop Juan Edgel noted that in promoting road safety, continuous education is an area that should be explored. He said the country must work towards bringing more awareness to the issue, and immature behavior by road users must be addressed. The new state-of-the-art $614.5 million Guyana Fire Service headquarters on Homestretch Avenue is slated to open by mid-June.
In respect of the new Guyana Fire Service headquarters building, we were hoping to be able to open it by the end of this month, May, but I think it'll run over by mid-June in relation to some issues we have to finalize with respect to the construction and the occupancy. But we're working at it.
The relocation of the headquarters from the congested Perico Market Square will improve the operations of the fire service. Residents of Plantation Hope, also known as Enmore Grassfield on the east coast of Demerara, can now sign agreements for sale of their house lots. Enmore Grassfield was a plot of land originally identified for livestock rearing. However, persons began squatting in the area in the late 90s. Regularization of the area commenced in 2011 and 55 lots were created. Now, the agreements of sale are being processed, paving the way for them to receive their titles.
Immediately this afternoon, with your availability, we are ready for you to start signing for your agreements. We have gone the extra step. We are providing for today. We want as much persons as possible. We're providing transportation to take you to the office to get those documents signed, and so that we can immediately process for your title.
Residents of Baramita Region 1, Barima-Waini are set to benefit from the government's hinterland housing program this year, with the construction of 10 houses in the community. The program will see the construction of some 100 housing units in Regions 1, 7, 8, and 9. This project aims to provide safer housing for families and ensure that Amerindian communities equally benefit from sustainable housing programs. Minister of Housing and Water Colin Kroll made the announcement during a meeting in the community with the Minister of Amerindian Affairs Pauline Sukai at the Baramita Multipurpose Center.
Like we've been working with other areas across the country, other villages, this year your government, your PPPC government, is investing in the hinterland housing program, resuming that program. So as a result, we will start on working with your village council, because you will have to play the role of identifying the beneficiaries.
Since local labor and materials would be used, the scheme will boost home ownership as well as the village economy. Guyanese will soon benefit from a 4-lane highway from Good Success to Tamari, as government has allocated US $117 million towards the project. With many infrastructural developments being undertaken, Minister of Public Works Bishop Juan Edgel assured the public that nothing will be destroyed or neglected during the process.
So this project entails fixing some other ancillary roads, the bridges, the culverts, the structures, to ensure that we get a comprehensive approach, and that while we're developing this thoroughfare, the others are not neglected.
Meanwhile, Minister within the Ministry of Public Works, Deodat Indar, conducted a walkabout in Alboistang, where a number of roads are being built in the area. Although most of the roads are nearing completion, Minister Indar called on 2 contractors to stick within the scheduled time frame due to reports of them being slothful.
As you know, the government has embarked on a massive project here to widen this corridor, to make it a main artery for traffic coming in, traffic going out. It also serves the purpose of carrying up, by just virtue of a finished product, with 3 lanes and a median in the middle for a walkway for residents, lighting and so on. It also serves as a catalyst for growth for property values.
The multi-million-dollar Alboistang Boulevard Enhancement Project is 75% completed. This was revealed by Ministry of Public Works project engineer Vikesh Pragu on Thursday afternoon at an outreach in the village led by Minister within the ministry, Deodat Indar.
We are about 75% completed. The only thing remaining overall in the project is the asphaltic concrete road. But the weather right now is giving us some challenges in terms of getting, we cannot force the weather in terms of forcing the road, and it's going to be in fail if we do that. But we're trying to get to the deadline of finishing the asphaltic road, and it's completed. The deadline was given the 1st of May, 2023.
Minister Indar said the project will greatly reduce traffic congestion and also beautify the area. President Dr. Muhammad Irfan Ali launched a national cleanup campaign. The initiative aims to rally the nation together, fostering a sense of responsibility and pride in keeping the country clean. With various stakeholders and citizens actively participating, the campaign has gained significant momentum and is making a tangible difference.
I've had about 5 of this already, which we, put a massive mobilization in place for the cleanup of the whole country. So right now this is happening all over the country, and this is led by the president. We are out here, we are doing our part, and we expect that there's a change in behavior.
Littering forcefully is something that we don't want to condone in Guyana. And I think us as military persons who are supposed to be nationalists anyway, we want to set that example. We want to tell the nation that this is something that we should not condone. This is something that every Guyanese should get on board and try as much as possible to deal with this situation.
As the world continues to undergo a technological transformation, many companies are modernizing their business processes to stay ahead. In keeping with this, the Caribbean Association of National Telecommunications Organization, CANTO, on Tuesday launched the e-procurement marketplace to transform the way goods and services are procured. Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, Oni Juwaran, said the platform holds potential for the development of small businesses.
Much of this capability resides right here in the region, including here in Guyana. It is, after all, our own people who keep the wheels turning and keep the system going. The talent is right here, and I think we miss a golden opportunity if we do not make a purposeful effort to tap these capabilities and deploy them for our collective development. Canto's e-market has the potential to be a vehicle by which we can harness some of that tremendous capability that resides in its membership.
The e-procurement marketplace brings together suppliers and companies on a virtual platform, creating efficiency in the delivery of goods and services.
The Canto e-procurement marketplace will seek to streamline the procurement process, increase efficiency, reduce cost, improve transparency and accountability.
Government continues to spearhead various proactive strategies towards the reduction of crime throughout the country. Guyana recorded a 19% reduction in serious crimes in 2022 when compared to 2021. Government recognizes that crime rate can be reduced in various communities by providing competency-based training programs, which will lead to sustainable economic development and employment. As such, the Ministry of Labor's Board of Industrial Training signed 2 Memoranda of Understanding with Generation Next and Sabila Rashad Islamic Training Center on Wednesday.
What we are attempting to do is trying to ensure communities are safe and to save people, from tragedies that can befall them.
Works to construct a new complex to house vendors at the Perico Market are progressing smoothly. Minister of Local Government and Regional Development Nigel Darnlall conducted an inspection of the works.
This will be a two-story market with adequate parking for up to 50 vehicles at a time. There will be improved sanitation. There will be improved services. It'll be the most modern market in Guyana when it is completed.
The new Perico Market is set to house 160 stalls. It will have a food court, mobile security, and electronic surveillance. The market will also have parking space for up to 50 vehicles at a time, which will benefit from security as well.
So we're very happy to report on this today because this shows our commitment as a government. It will also enhance the infrastructure as well as the quality of life within the Perico NDC area. And I'm happy to be joined by the regional chairman, who has a mandate on this market as well because he chairs the market committee of the area, and the NDC chair, who will also have a greater responsibility in ensuring that the market is managed properly moving forward.
The comprehensive first of its kind real estate bill will be completed in 2 months and will subsequently be tabled in the National Assembly, paving the way for the regulation of the local real estate industry. During his weekly televised program, Issues in the News, Tuesday evening, Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Mahabir Anil Nandlal stated that consultations are continuing with real estate agents, interested stakeholders, and the government on the proposed bill.
These public consultations will continue, and hopefully within the next 2 months we should be able to complete this important piece of legislation to take to the National Assembly.
Additionally, consultation on the revision of the Local Content Act 2021 will commence shortly, as the government seeks to strengthen the legislation to ensure Guyanese adequately reap the benefits of the booming oil and gas industry. Minister Nandlal said the government continues to receive numerous complaints of Guyanese not being afforded fair opportunities to participate in the new industry.
Government has commenced a review of the local content framework. We continue to get reports that Guyanese are not being afforded a fair opportunity.
Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance Gail Teixeira has stressed the need for parliamentarians, both government and opposition, to cooperate in order to reach a consensus on issues of national importance. She was at the time addressing current and former members of Parliament at a reception held at Parliament Buildings, Georgetown, on Thursday evening to celebrate the 70-year anniversary of the body's establishment.
We want to get back to the days of this Parliament when, in fact, and those days have been long missing, that as parliamentarians we could reach consensus on national issues. That is what we have to work towards now.
She emphasized the role of women in building the government and country as a whole, and acknowledged historic women like Janet Jagan, who became the first female deputy speaker in the world when she was appointed the position. Minister Teixeira also noted that Mistress Jagan and others like Jane Phillips-Gay and Jessie Burnham paved the way for women in Guyana to make the difference and have the impact that they do now. The One Guyana mantra is much more than equitable access to opportunities, improvement of infrastructure, healthcare, and education. It extends far beyond, including the improvement of social welfare and the eradication of social issues. As monitoring of livelihoods continues, specifically in remote areas, the administration has formulated a high-level task force to address the multiplicity of social issues in Barometer Region 1.
The community of Barometer, the issues, some of the burning issues, especially on the social front, the livelihood, the existence of our people in this community is of concern to the government of Guyana. This one community, this one village, for example, has one of the highest suicidal rate in Guyana. It is of concern to all of us. Our president has therefore set up a ministerial task force that will pay some direct attention to this community.
Meanwhile, Minister of Amerindian Affairs Pauline Sukai noted that government will be relentless in its efforts to ensure social ills are removed from all corners of the country. At the National Cleanup Campaign spearheaded by President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali for the second year in a row, the minister within the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for public affairs, Kwame McCoy, has called on Guyanese to not only play a part in the cleanups but in keeping the country clean. He did this at the Savage Street leg of the nationwide cleanup exercise on Saturday morning.
The fact is that we need to take responsibility and to make sure that we demonstrate leadership on this issue as a government, making sure that we could work with civil society and the other levels of government, the NDCs, RDCs, city councils and town councils, etc., to work towards ridding the various places around us with the garbage and therefore being able to keep our environment clean and in a much better condition.
Minister McCoy noted that even as tourists and investors flock to Guyana for its tremendous opportunities, Guyanese need to be more vigilant in taking care of their surroundings for their health and safety. This brings us to the end of this edition of Weekly Digest. For these and other government-related information, do log on to our website at dpi.gov.gy and our social media platforms as well. Goodbye.